Hey everyone, welcome back to Homemade from Scratch. My name is Casey, and today we're going to make, it's kind of a copycat recipe. I'm one of those people that goes to the store, and if I find something I like, I try to make it at home. This is one of those items. We are going to make a dark chocolate power bar. I'll put a picture of it on the screen here from what we are talking about. I saw these at Sam's Club, and I didn't look at the price, I didn't look at the ounces or anything like that. I will try to find it and put it up on the screen here. But I wanted something kind of to calm my sweet tooth, but not really affect my diet. I wanted something that was going to just give me a little bit of that sweet taste, but still have protein and fruit and nuts and all of that good stuff. And that is exactly what this food item had in it. Now, I've already made this once because I wanted to perfect it before I shared it with you guys, and I will put a picture of the ingredients from the bag on the screen here, and I will show you what it has in it. And then here is my recipe that I came up with. You can screenshot that. I will also have it typed out down below. But we're going to start off now. I just had these items laying around, and you can kind of do whatever you want to with your power bark and put anything that you want to into it. But the base is going to be a cocoa bar, and you can choose anything from 80 to 100% depending on the sweetness that you like. Now you can also add whatever sweetener you would like. You can add sugar or honey or maple syrup or anything like that that you want to your power bar, depending on your diet, your health condition, whatever. So if you want to do like maybe a 50-50 where it's already partially sweetened, you can do that and omit the sweeteners if you want. It's all up to you, but I want to give you a basis of what you can buy at the store, and then you can kind of make it your own. So what I was saying is we're going to start off with either a cocoa bar or a cacao bar. You can choose any baking bar that you would like. I'm going to keep mine between 80 and 100% because I am going to add in a sweetener. And then to make it to where you can easily kind of suck on it or chew on it, we are going to soften the cocoa bar with a little bit of coconut oil. Now I'm using coconut oil because it doesn't provide the liquidy measure to the chocolate bar, if you know what I mean. It's going to harden back up, but it's going to keep the chocolate soft. That's why I want to use coconut oil, but you can use any kind of light fat to make it to where the chocolate is a little bit softer and not so hard. You can also try to make this without it. I'm sure it'll be just fine, but it's going to be on the harder side. Then we're going to add a half a cup of sweetener, a half a cup of nuts, and I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of pistachios on top of my bark, and then I'm going to put whatever nuts we have available on the inside. So you can kind of play around with that. You can mix it all in. You can put them all on top. You can do whatever you want to. Now in the bark you're going to see cranberries, but you can also put in raisins. You can also put in any kind of those dried, chewy, fruity kind of inclusives. I did have some raisins, and I did have like some of the golden raisins that I put in mine last time, and they were really good. And then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla. That's just going to further soften the chocolate and bring out all of those flavors. And then I'm going to put in a half a teaspoon of Redmond's Real Sea Salt, or Redmond's Real Salt. So what we're going to start with, and you can do this any kind of way you want as well, is I have a double boiler. And what this is there's going to be water in the bottom, and I'm going to put my cocoa in the top. You can do this with a pot with a glass bowl on top, a metal bowl on top, whichever you have on hand. Or you can actually do it in the microwave. Now if you do it in the microwave, I would do it at about 50% power, and do it for about a minute, and then kind of stir around, and then do it at 30-second increments after that, because you don't want it to burn. You just want it to lightly melt. So we're going to put our cocoa bar in here and our coconut oil and let those mix together first. So here's the water in the bottom of my double boiler. I'm going to put the top in right here. What I have is the 90%, just the Sam's Club, it's great value, more or less. 90% cocoa bar. And I'm just going to break 2 of these up and put it in the double boiler. Okay, so once it's melted, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Find me a towel. I'll set this off back here. Alright, so to minimize dishes, I'm just going to mix everything in with my chocolate instead of pouring it into another bowl. So we've got the cocoa and the coconut oil. So now I'm going to add my ½ cup of sweetener. I'm going to add honey. Now you can start with a 1/4 cup and sweeten it as you need it. You don't have to use a ½ cup. My honey is kind of crystallized, so I'm putting it in here hot so it'll melt. You're going to have to put this in here hot because otherwise your chocolate will set up and then you will not be able to stir it in. If you see somebody in the window, we're getting new windows. Life goes on. Okay, so now we're just going to stir in and incorporate the honey. Okay, so this is where we're going to get fun with what we're going to add to it. I've got some sunflower seeds here that I'm going to add. I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of the sunflower seeds because I've got some other nuts that I want to add in as well. And then I've got cranberries here, the sweet and dried cranberries, and we're just going to add in a ½ cup of the cranberries. And then we'll add in a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm using Skinner Farms vanilla here, and they sell their vanilla, so I'm going to put in a teaspoon of that. I'm going to stir everything around, and then I've got to go over and get my other nuts. So I've got a bunch of pistachio nuts here that I have got to shell and chop up real quick. So to make this into a bark, we are going to use a glass, I think it's an 8x8 pan, and I'm going to line it with parchment paper. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator for about an hour or so. This needs to harden up, and then once it hardens up, you can leave it out as long as your house isn't like 75 degrees or hotter. It'll stay solid, and I mean it'll last a couple of weeks. Of course, once you try it, it won't last a couple of weeks. But I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. We'll let it set, and I'll bring you back when it's ready. Okay, so as you can see, it's the next day. Got busy last night and forgot. So all we have to do is lift this out of the container. You can see that it is hard as dark chocolate. All we have to do is pull back the parchment paper. It comes right out, as you can see. And then all we have to do is get a knife, and you can cut this up however you want. Now, I like to cut mine up in like little 1-inch squares, so that way I feel like I'm eating more if I have 2 or 3 of them instead of like 1 inch by 2 or 3 inch bar. I just like the bite size better because, you know, just in my mind, it makes me think I'm eating more. So, you need a sharp knife for this, and then you can cut it however you want to. As long as your knife is sharp, you should have no trouble cutting through this. Just do it slow. I've never had any trouble with it, like as you cut it, like it popping and cracking. Never had any trouble like that. Just do it slow and steady. You can store this in any container of your choosing. For me, I'm just going to store in a glass bowl. I do keep mine in the refrigerator because I like my chocolate cold. But like I said before, if you have a home that is 75 degrees or less, then this should be able to be room stable. If it does tend to get soft while it's sitting out, then there should be no problem with putting it in the refrigerator and letting it harden back up and enjoying it cold. So guys, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy this recipe. Let me know down below what you like to put in your chocolate. Let me know if you've ever made any of this, and let me know of all the inclusions that you include in your sweet treats. So until next time guys, thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Bye.